lovely mother.
Hi, I'm Janette.
And today we are going to talk about what we pack in our Disney bags. So I feel like this is very dependent upon the type of trip you're going on, the season that you're going, how long you're staying. Right. So I think there's a lot of factors that go into it, how many people are in your family, of course, too. So we're just going to talk about what we pack in our bags. And so, and some other tips and stuff like that, ideas that we have. So first, we're going to start with the suitcase. So you're going down to Disney, whether you're flying, driving, whatever it may be. What is your thought process behind packing your suitcase to go to Disney?
Okay, well, there's a lot of thought process here for me, okay? I probably have more thought process than Amanda. My thought process, like I said, there are two different ways we've gone down to Disney. We've flown and we've driven. Now, if I'm driving, we take a little bigger suitcase and I drop a whole lot of extra stuff that I probably don't need into it because it's going into the back of the car.
Yeah, you're definitely more of the overpacker, I would
Right,
say.
but I do not overpack that much even when we're driving because we still have to stop at a hotel and I do not leave my stuff in the car. We have to wheel it into the hotel. So even though when we drive, I pack a little bit more, I still compactly put it in like a little bit of a bigger roller and then another small carry-on and then our regular bags, like our backpack bags, because we do have to go in and out of that hotel. And I don't want to be dragging 5 bags into the hotel. So I never really pack any more that I say, oh, let's take everything. But at least taking a car gives me a little bit more leeway. Mm-hmm. But when we go on a plane, which I would rather do because I don't like driving for 4 days, so I would rather get on a plane, I don't check bags. Yeah. I never check a bag unless I absolutely have to. So I just pack a carry-on, and then I pack my bag that I take on the plane with me, which is stuffed to the gills.
Yeah, the personal bag and the carry-on bag.
Stuffed to the gills. Now, this goes also for me because I'm a person who's not easily, I can't, especially when we were traveling with the kids, I always carried something onto the plane, even when we did check our bags, because I'm not one of those people that can walk into a Target and buy a bathing suit, shorts, T-shirts, and whatever I need. I'm a little bit more attached to what I need to put on. So I would always take that with me. Now, I don't want to be bothered checking a bag, waiting at the carousel because it's always so crazy.
Yeah, we're very much like when we get off the plane, we're leaving that airport immediately.
Oh, yes, immediately. We are out the door.
We do not go to baggage claim. We just walk right out and try to leave. So
right.
I can't even remember the last time I've even checked a bag personally.
Yeah, the only time I've checked a bag is when we go to Europe.
I was going to say, when you went to Europe, you did, but when me and Ted went to Europe, we didn't even check a bag then. Yeah, I haven't checked it. Yeah, well, I went for 2 weeks, though, and I still did. I also did laundry, too, when we were there. So that makes a big difference, too, if you're planning to do laundry not on your trip. Some people love doing laundry on their trip because they can pack less, but some people hate doing laundry on their trip and then just do it when they get home. So
yeah, well, that's the thing about Disney is that we are lucky enough that we always stay at the timeshare at DVC. Yeah. So there's always a washer and dryer.
Yeah, in the room. But even all the other hotels usually have washers and dryers on the floor or somewhere near. Some of them you do pay for. It's usually not that expensive, though. It's like a regular
and usually just doing one load. I mean, I'm only going for a week usually. So even the Swan and the Dolphin, when we've stayed there, they have washer and dryer rooms, so you can go down and use them. And if you have one load, it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Especially if you have kids and they're taking a nap, great time to do a quick load of laundry.
Right. Right. But like I said, for me, my suitcase tends to be a little heavier and a little more stuffed because I don't wear shorts. So that's the first thing I don't take. I don't take shorts and T-shirts. I take shirts and pants. So my pants have to be light cotton pants. But I'll start with what I always take. There's a list of things that I always have to bring with me because when you're in Disney, you never know what the weather's going to be. We've gone down there thinking in December that we look at the weather and it says it's going to be 60 or 70 degrees and it drops to 30 degrees. And then you're stuck. I learned my lesson. If I'm going in the winter, I wear winter clothes onto the plane. I wear a down jacket. I wear my winter shoes. I wear whatever I have to wear just in case the weather does drop. I bring a little pair of fingerless gloves. I don't want to have to be buying Disney merchandise to keep myself warm. We've done that. Double sweatshirts and scarves and whatever they're offering. I have to say, though, now they do offer more merchandise. There were times we were there in other seasons.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember there was no winter things at all. And we went there at the time, it was record low temperatures. It was in the 30s Fahrenheit.
30s, it went down to almost 20s.
Yeah, it was very, very cold in Florida, and there was nothing. They had no sweatshirts. There was one scarf, Right. Very, very little. Now, today, they have so much more stuff. Yes. More options, cute stuff, Yeah,
they do. So if you get stuck because of that, that's fine. Yeah. But I always, if it depends upon the season. If it's summertime, I even, no matter how hot it is, I bring one sweatshirt, at least one sweatshirt. Because the first thing I always pack in my bag, and we'll start with the things I always pack, is a pair of long pants pajamas. Because a couple of times we've gone there in the summer, and with the air conditioning running, I get cold, and I can't wear shorter pajamas. I wear long pajamas most
Yeah, I
here.
wear long pajamas too. I always wear long pants and then a t-shirt is what I usually wear.
Right.
So.
I fluctuate between t-shirt and sweatshirt here, or flannel pants and cotton pants. But I do bring a long pair of cotton pajamas only because the hotel room tends to get a little cooler. So that's what I do. The other thing I bring is a lingerie bag to wash because we do laundry. I know that when we go to the DVC, we're going to do laundry. We throw laundry in as we go out to the park. We come back, we throw it in the dryer. But those machines are not geared to be delicate to a lot of my stuff. So some of the shirts and some of the blouses and some of the things that I usually hang up at home or throw in a delicate wash, I just tuck an extra lingerie bag in my suitcase and it stays there. And I bring it with me for every time we go. So that's a definite. I have to bring a lingerie bag. The other thing I bring is a rain jacket and an umbrella. I have a tiny, tiny little totes umbrella, the tiniest one you can get. And I throw it in my suitcase because if it's going to rain, I do not want my head wet. Ponchos don't work for me because they stop below the knees. And if you're wearing long pants, that does not work well.
Yeah.
The end of your pants gets soaked because all the rain is running off the poncho onto the end of your pants. And then it's riding up past your knees. So by the time you kick that poncho off, your whole bottom is wet. So I take an umbrella and rain jacket. The next thing I bring is I bring a handkerchief for ironing. That stays in my suitcase too. I have an extra men's handkerchief because a lot of the irons aren't as clean as they could be. So I wear a lot of white, especially in the summer. If you're ironing something, you have to be careful of what it does to your clothes. So I always have one of those in the suitcase. The other thing I put in the suitcase is a pair of black socks. Stuff them in my suitcase because I don't like walking on floors without something on my feet.
Yeah,
I don't like
usually
walking
just
barefoot.
bring a pair of flip-flops for the room.
I usually have flip-flops with me, but just in case, I always have that pair of black socks in my suitcase just so I can wear them in the hotel. I also bring a hat. I always pack a baseball cap because you never know if it's going to rain or if it's going to be nasty weather or my hair's just not going to cooperate. So cap, headbands. I wear a lot of headbands, and a hair clip and a hair tie. And these are like basics that as soon as I start to pack, that goes wherever I'm going, those go into my suitcase. Then we also throw in a Tide to go so that we always have something just in case. That's my basic definites.
Yeah.
And then for me, like I said, because it depends upon the season, I either pack an extra sweatshirt with the one I always take with me. It's always a zip-up sweatshirt, so I can wear it to bed. I can wear it around the hotel room. Usually I have a black sweatshirt that has a mini on it and a mini written across the back that I wear because this way, if I put it around my waist, I don't have to worry about getting it dirty. I find that when I wear the light sweatshirts, that's just a problem. So I bring a black sweatshirt and wear it everywhere. I bring a pair of leggings, always, just in case, if I want to go for a walk, if I want to do something. I do bring cotton pants, usually cotton summery pants or dungarees. I do wear a lot of cargo pants too. Like now they've come into style, which is really great because they have extra pockets and I can stick my glasses and my phone into my pants pockets while I'm walking around the park. So I do that, dungarees, and I bring light tops. I layer because I've learned that you have to layer because you never know. It's going to get hot. It's going to get cold. It's going to be breezy. It's going to be rainy. It's going to be something else. So I kind of layer all my stuff. That's like the basics of what I say I have to bring. And then, of course, I spend time unpacking and packing the suitcase over and over again because I say, oh, I want to bring this other shirt. Or, oh, I want to bring this. But essentially, I get all that stuff. The only thing I have to do is I have big feet, so I have to wear my sneakers onto the plane. I wear my sneakers onto the plane, and I have invested in a pair of UFOs sandals, flip-flops. They are best flip-flops I have ever worn in my life. They are comfortable. They're like walking on a cloud. They look like regular flip-flops. They do not look like, orthopedic flip-flops or old lady flip-flops or whatever. I love them. I could walk the park all day in other shoes, come back, put those on and feel like 100%. So I wear those in the park. So I pack my UFOs and then I wear my sneakers. And then of course I throw a few pairs of socks in there, even though I'm not a sock wearer. I do throw a few pairs of socks in there and stuff like that. And I can get all that into a carry-on.
So I pack very differently from my mom because we wear different clothes.
Yes.
So I plan my entire suitcase by outfit. So everything is all by
can't
outfit.
do that.
So I have always packed this way. Even when I was a kid and I started packing my own suitcase, it was by outfit. And when I do this, it means I don't overpack at all because everything is completely planned of what I'm going to wear every single day. And so as well as I usually bring one extra outfit now. Back in the day, I used to not bring an extra outfit. I used to pack exactly what I was going to wear every day. And that's it. That's what I'm going to wear. That's all I have. And then I found sometimes when I'd be away that I wish I would have other options to wear. So I do try to pack one extra outfit, but for the most part, I pack completely by outfit. This helps you also eliminate too, like not bringing, like you bring a pair of shorts that's only going with one shirt, and then you end up not wearing that one shorts. And it's like, well, then you brought all these shirts to go with those shorts, and then you can't wear it. So what's the point? So yeah, everything for me is by outfit. For something too, especially for Disney, to consider which parks are you going to. So which parks are you going to? Are there certain clothes that you have? Like, do you have Disney T-shirts you want to wear in certain parks?
Yeah, you coordinate.
Especially with your characters as well. If you're going to do a meet and greet with Minnie, do you want to be wearing like your Minnie mini t-shirt? If you're going to be going to Cinderella's royal table, do you want to be wearing a Cinderella shirt? And it's especially to do for anyone else you're packing for. It's like, what do you want to coordinate outfits? Are you going to be taking photos? And so I think that's important to think about, because I think Disney is that type of trip. I feel like other trips aren't really like that, but for Disney, it's like a lot of people do go down there to take photos, to wear matching shirts. You want to make sure you have all those elements with you. And again, I always try to bring that one extra outfit just to have options. So planning by outfit, but also planning by dinner too, specifically if you're going out to a nice dinner. So if you're planning to have one nice dinner, I have had before where I forgot to pack like a nicer shirt for a nicer dinner. So all I had was like my Disney t-shirts. It's like, well, and Disney is not that big of a deal. No. Most places on Disney property will let you wear kind of whatever. The ones that do have dress codes will say that there is a dress code for it, but even then you can kind of slide by wearing a bit more
as
casual.
Long as you're neat and trim, they let you go.
Yeah. So for the most part, though, it's like, but if you do want to dress a little bit nicer for like a fancy dinner, like if you're going, to like Victoria and Albert's, that's something to consider. It's like, all right, what am I going to wear to that? Do I need to bring a special outfit and a special set of shoes just for that one dinner? So that's something that I always consider too, because we usually end up going to one nicer restaurant that I always change shirt for that nicer restaurant. So my mom talked also about shoes as well. I also, for the most part, only wear sneakers. So it's like, I always have my sneakers on, I wear them down, but then I usually bring a nice pair of sandals as well, because again, if we're going out nice, it's nice to have a nice pair of sandals. And then I just put room shoes. So shoes I would just wear in the room in itself. So whether that be a pair of flip-flops, like socks, whatever it is, house shoes, it's like, I always bring my room shoes. And then another thing too is I always bring extra underwear and socks. That's the only thing that I don't do by outfit, just because sometimes I will change.
I forgot that. Yeah, we only bring half though, because.
Yeah, if you're doing laundry, but even then, sometimes I change my underthings like during the day. So it's like, it's very hot in Florida. So like if you're going in the summer and you get back to the room, you may want to completely change again. So it's like, I always have extras of those because you just never know. And again, you could do laundry, but again, it's like if you're in between laundry, sometimes it's just nice to have extras on like a daily basis. Something I also wrote down here was to consider everything you touch on a daily basis and consider if you need to bring it with you on vacation. So for instance, when you go about your day, that's kind of how I pack.
I haven't thought of that. Okay.
As I go about my day, like a few days leading up to vacation, I'll start like thinking, it's like, all right, like this morning I'm getting ready. So here are all the things I'm touching right now. It's like, do I need to actually bring this with me when I'm away? And that's especially for toiletries, because especially for toiletries, I feel like there's things that you use on a daily basis and you're like, well, when I'm away, I won't need to do this. But then when you're away, you may realize, like, actually, I wish I had that product.
I didn't
that
get into
item.
Toiletries, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you realize that it's easier just to have your favorite things than things that you don't normally like. So it's just like, or like, because I know sometimes, especially for beauty products, you get a lot of those like travel beauty products and like free samples. And I've done it before where it's like, well, I won't bring my face wash. I'll just bring this free sample I got. But then I get on vacation and I don't like that face wash that I brought with me. It's like, well, now I'm here for a week and this is all I have.
Right. What I do is I use it the morning I'm using it, and then I throw it in the travel bag.
Yeah. No, that's the same concept. It's just like whatever you normally use, consider what you're using and consider if you need to bring it with you. Because sometimes not everything has to go with you, of course. So it's like not everything will
and
come
that stuff
with you.
takes up half my travel bag.
Yeah, toiletries takes up so much space.
I know. My bag looks so good. I say, oh, look, I did so well. Until the toiletries have to go in.
Especially for makeup too, if you are a makeup wearer, is definitely to bring some kind of setting spray, just because again, it's like, even if it's not that hot in
Amanda
Florida,
just introduced me to that stuff. I love it.
Even if it's not that hot in Florida, you're just moving around a lot. Everyone's moving around a lot. If you're wearing sunglasses, you're taking your sunglasses on and off. So it's like you're moving your makeup around and everything. So a good setting spray is always worth it. And then last thing too is just electronic chargers as well. So just making sure you have all your chargers. I always bring every charger that, even if I don't think I'm going to need it, I end up bringing it.
Okay. That doesn't go in my carry-on. That goes in my
the park bag.
My carry bag.
Yeah. We'll do. Yeah, you can go through that one in a second too. But chargers are important too, because it's one of those things where you're at home, you take it for granted. Everything uses a different charger. It's so annoying. Everything has a different charger, and then you'll forget that one item needs a different charger. So then you're on vacation.
Then you're buying it in the airport.
Yeah, and you realize you don't have that one charger.
Right.
So again, it's like going through the week before, everything you touch and that you do. It's like, it's good to consider. It's like, is this coming with me on vacation? Will the room have it for me? Am I going to buy it when I'm there? Things like that. And the last thing, especially for Disney, is Disney accessories. So your magic band. So for instance, I have forgotten my magic band before. It just didn't make it in. So then I had to use the card when I got down there, or you can just purchase a new magic band when you're down there as well. So making sure you have your magic band. If you have mini ears, make sure you're packing your mini ears. Again, that kind of goes by planning by outfit. I will often plan, especially if it's a long trip and we're going to the parks like 5 days or something like that.
I will bring ears.
I'll bring multiple pairs of ears. Some trips I only bring one pair of ears. So it kind of depends what we're doing. But other trips, I will bring multiple ears so they can go with different outfits that I'm wearing. I know some people collect the mini ears too, so it's like it's exciting to bring your mini ears with you, but they do take up a lot of space, low-key. So, and then also Disney jewelry as well. I have a lot of Disney jewelry. I wear a lot of my Disney jewelry on a daily basis in my everyday life, but there is some jewelry I mainly only wear in the parks. So also making sure too, if you have Disney jewelry or any other Disney accessories like headbands, hats, anything like that, yet you're packing those with you so that they come with you. And I have a list on my phone of everything that I normally pack on in a general sense on vacation, and that is something I had to add to it because again, one time I forgot my magic bands. I was just like, how do I forget the magic bands? So, but that is something that I always try to make sure I pack. And then of course, you know, like you always make sure you have your ID, like if you're taking a plane. I've never forgotten my passport before, but I have been very close to forgetting my passport when I was going on a plane. I do not have a real ID, like a real ID driver's license, so I do have to bring my passport with me. And so, yeah, only once ever I almost left for my Uber and I realized I did not have my passport and I quickly grabbed it. I'm like, well, that would have been difficult if I got there.
Once you got to the airport.
Yeah, I think at the time you weren't required to have real ID, so I probably just could have used my driver's license.
Yeah, we just carry it by
yeah, because they keep pushing that date back of when real ID is required, and it's like been pushed back for years and years now. But I know one day it's going to become a thing, and it's like I don't have a real ID, so I only have my passport. So all right, well, let's talk about our park bags now. So
okay, wait, before you talk about your park bags,
sure.
I'm talking about the bag I bring on the plane.
Oh yeah, like the personal bag. Like
my personal bag is like those like travel bags that you have the back piece that goes on your roller so that you can put them together.
Yeah, it's like a shoulder bag sort of.
I put my park bag, like my little park bag, in there packed with my stuff. But then I also take that on, and that's where I throw in all my chargers, my headphones, some protein bars, so that I always have some kind of protein bars because sometimes I just don't want to eat the food in the parks every day.
Again, it's like having food that you like that is comforting. So.
Right. I put in like, you know, an extra, if I want to keep myself entertained, I put in a pad and paper so I can make some notes. I put in anything that I know I'm going to need that in my suitcase I can't touch while I'm on the plane. So like I said, all that, and that gets really filled up fast. You think that that's not a lot, but my park bag, like we're going to talk about what we carry to the park, that little bag is also in there with my headphones, with all the extra stuff. Usually I pack a pair of, if my travel bag is really, really, really packed, I throw in an extra pair of sandals in that bag. So when we get to Florida, if it's hot, I can slip off my shoes and just put on a pair of sandals and go out if it's really, really hot. So that bag becomes kind of stuffed by the time I get it onto that plane.
Especially too if you bring a laptop, because I usually always have to bring
my
a
laptop. That's right.
That's heavy.
It is. So my phone, my
that's
laptop,
a lot of weight to that bag.
my headphones, all the chargers, all that stuff goes in that bag under the seat in front of me so I can grab it and I can use it. Usually I don't eat airplane food. So if we are traveling,
have snacks.
Yeah, I bring snacks just because I just get bored on the plane and I get fidgety. So I just bring a few snacks and do what whatever. And then those snacks last during the week because like I said, I don't like eating heavy food all the time. But I do carry a pretty well stacked plane bag besides carrying my carry-on. But it goes under the seat. It's squishy enough that I could just shove it under the seat, under my feet so that it's never a problem.
All right, now let's go into your park bag. What do you put in your park bag?
Okay, my park bag, I would carry one of those now over the shoulder little pouches.
Yes.
Thank God, because years and years and years when you have kids, the bags would like fluctuate. When you have a lot of kids and you're traveling, you've got a lot of stuff with them, especially when you were young. Then as you got older, the bag kind of got smaller, so you didn't have to carry that big bag. But then as I got older, there were things I wanted with me in the park, so the bag got bigger again. But my shoulders were killing me. I don't carry a backpack. I just don't have the build for it. I don't like the way it is. So I would always carry it over one shoulder. So now I carry one of those sling bags.
Like crossbody bags.
I love it. I shove it. And I can shove, if I really have to, I can shove my umbrella in there, my glasses, my sunglasses. If I have fake nails on anywhere I go, I have to have a little bit of extra glue in the extra nails. I put a comb, my lipstick, tissues, and a hair tie in that bag, just in case I have to pull my hair up and put it up in a ponytail or whatever. And I get that all in that bag, and then the back pocket has my phone. So I can squeeze all that into that little bag and know that while I'm in the park all day, I've got, and Purell, of course. We always carry Purell everywhere. That's always in my airport bag and my travel bag.
Yeah, for sure. I have a lot of similar items too, because it's like, you always have your wallet, and then something to I want to note for wallets is that you can use your Disney gift cards in the parks. You can also use Starbucks gift cards at the Starbucks locations in the parks too. A lot of people don't always realize that, especially because Starbucks is confusing. Like for instance, the Starbucks at Barnes & Noble, you can't because those aren't actually Starbucks. Like those are like Barnes & Noble's.
They're just selling Starbucks products.
Well, Barnes & Noble's cafes are just licensed to use the Starbucks coffee is all it is, but it's actually not a real Starbucks. But again, like the Starbucks and Targets and Disney World, I think you can use the Starbucks gift cards. So that's something to note. So bring your gift cards because you might as well use them.
Yeah, I use an RFID wallet, like one of those little metal RFID wallets in that little pouch.
And so then I also have my sunglasses and specifically a sunglass case because the sun will go down and you want to put your sunglasses somewhere.
Right.
Hand sanitizer, of course. I have my Tide to Go. I always have ibuprofen because you never know if you're going to get a headache from the sun. I always bring Emergency with me too. That's like a little packet of vitamin C powder. Any medicines you may take. So this is something I've forgotten to in the past. It's like, again, in your everyday life, if you take medicines at a certain day.
I take mine in the morning.
Yeah, if you take medicines at a certain day or a certain times or like multiple times a day, you always make sure you have them with you. Even if like maybe you take it before you go to bed or again in the morning or something like that and you're almost always home, everyone's schedules is always different on vacation. So it's like your schedule is completely thrown off. So you may realize like, oh, I thought I would have been going to bed at this time, but maybe we stayed for the fireworks and then afterwards we got a drink or something like that. It's like, well, now I need to take my medicine at 9 p.m. or something. So always making sure you have your medicines. I always bring a portable phone charger and a regular phone charger. So I always have both because if I were sitting down somewhere and there happens to be an outlet nearby, I will charge my phone with the outlet.
That's because Amanda's very good at vlogging and taking pictures. Yes. I don't need a charger.
Also, too, if you're trying to connect your phone to the Disney Wi-Fi, that can drain your battery a lot faster because your phone is constantly trying to connect to the Wi-Fi. Even if you're not connected to the Wi-Fi, I feel like phones just drain very quickly faster in Disney, especially if you're taking lots of photos and videos. Like your phone's just going to drain, or if you're using the My Disney Experience app, you have to use the app for everything. Your phone's going to start draining. If you're playing the Parks to Go, game when you're online, phone's going to start draining. So it's I always have a portable phone charger, but also the regular phone charger as well too, because if you're near an outlet, I'm charging my phone by an outlet, that's for sure. We both have light raincoats. So we have ones from Uniqlo that we got.
Oh, they're great.
They basically, you can get them on Amazon too. They're just a light raincoat that folds up real small, basically.
Folds up real small and sticks in your thing.
Yeah, so I like it too because the one from Uniqlo, at least, is also pretty warm as well. So if it's a little chilly, at least then you have something on your shoulders. I have sunscreen in here, makeup touch-up. So in case you are wearing makeup, if you want to bring makeup touch-up, you don't have to. I don't always bring that with me, but I do also bring my nail glue and my eyelash glue. I always find the times I don't bring my eyelash glue, that is when my eyelash will fly off. So most of the time that my eyelashes don't come off, but it's always that one time that it's like the eyelash is going to be popping off. So lip balm, of course, and then a hair tie. So that's kind of what's in my bag. I do carry one of the Disney bags. It's not a Loungefly. It's actually one of the Fancy Duty and Brook bags, but that's also an everyday bag for me too. I carry it all the time, honestly. When I'm switching between bags, that's like for the most part, that's my everyday bag.
Yes.
And then in the winter, I tend to carry my slightly smaller bag, and sometimes I'm just lazy when I have to switch bags. So it depends where all my stuff is.
Right.
but I do carry one of those little Disney bags as well. And a lot of people carry them as well. So it's like, I feel like the styles of bags go in and out. For a while there, like a couple years ago, the Loungeflies, everyone had a Loungefly. Every single person had a Loungefly. Now, because of those crossbody bags, a lot of people are carrying those instead of the Loungeflies because they're a little bit smaller and a little bit more comfortable. I will say, out of preference, I do like those crossbody bags where like the little pouches in front of you. When I went to Disneyland, it was just so convenient, especially because I was by myself. And so wherever I went, everything was just on my body. It was very easy and quick. When I used the restroom by myself, it's like I didn't have to move the bag at all, never had to worry about it.
No.
So,
it's also very good if it's raining and you have to put on that rain jacket, you just put it right over the crossbody
right over
bag.
The bag.
And so you're not taking your bag and putting the jacket on, putting the bag over it, so it just makes it much more convenient.
Yeah, in that sense, I actually prefer that bag over using like the mini backpacks, but I do love my Dooney and Brook so much, that's why I have to use it when I'm down there, even though it's actually not as convenient to have just one of the crossbody bags. And lots of people on Etsy sell Disney crossbody bags like that, so you can have like Disney ones. So they look
have a black one from Target.
Yeah, so they look a little cuter. You could be on theme if you want to, or match your outfits or something like that. I see lots of people
mine has the right
that.
amount of pockets, the right amount of the
now
weight.
Lululemon has like Disney Lululemon bags too. So
I
you
saw
can get the Lululemon Disney ones as well.
But I like mine because of the convenience of what I put in there and how I put it in there. It works out well for me.
No, definitely.
So whatever's comfortable for you.
Yeah, that's what I say too. Whatever is the most comfortable at the end of the day, because you're the one carrying the bag.
Yes.
So.
I found that there were times when I have to have Joe carry my bag. I used to say to him, "You carry it for a while," because it's heavy. It's just heavy. It's just a lot, especially when it's hot and you're walking and it's hot and you've got that extra weight on you.
I do feel it because especially by the end of the day, I can feel my shoulders are both hurting because of having this bag. So I'll take it off and I'll hold it in my hands because I'm just like, my shoulders hurt from just like, even though it's not even that heavy, but it's just like the weight after a while.
That's why I was so happy when they did these crossbody bags and cargo pants.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, I love my cargo pants because I don't have to squish my eyeglasses or my sunglasses in the case. I can just put them in one of those side covered, clip pockets, and I know that they're there and I'm not going to lose them.
Sure.
I have to say, say that I just love the fashion now because it makes it easier to go to Disney or go anywhere when I go out for the day or, traveling around. Because the less I can carry, the better off I am right now.
For sure.
So like I said, our bags are, they're personal because, I have to carry an umbrella. You don't carry an umbrella.
No, I don't usually. I carry a coat. Like I'll carry my
Yeah,
my
she
light
carries her
rain
little
coat.
rain jacket. She's fine. Me, I want that umbrella because I don't want my head.
I don't like holding an umbrella, honestly. I find an umbrella to be very inconvenient when I'm walking around, especially because then you're hitting other people. And
the
it
other
bothers
thing I
me.
do with my little umbrella is I have a plastic bag that's
to
stuck
put
in
it
the case with the umbrella. So when I'm finished with the umbrella, because sometimes it just rains for a short period of time, then you've got this wet umbrella that you're carrying around. I stick it in the plastic bag, put it back in my bag.
So one last thing for Disney as well specifically is that Disney, for the most part, you can bring any bag with you onto the ride. So it's like they will have the little pouches in front of you to put small bags, a larger backpack you can put by your feet. Of course, strollers often can't come on the rides. There'll be stroller parking. Lots of people leave their bags at the stroller parking. They're not monitored. So it's like, theft has happened at the stroller parking, but it's like for the most part, I wouldn't leave anything valuable there, but you can leave like your backpack and snacks there if you really want to or something. And that's good to note because I feel like it's different in every park. I've been to quite a few parks now and every park treats bags a little bit differently. I think personally Disney does it the best because also I guess Disney doesn't really have any that big of thrill rides at the end of the day. So most of the rides, like your bag will be fine if it's just like at your feet or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. Or it's like, you wrap it around your leg at your feet and like it's going to be fine. Because some other parks I've been to, like Busch Gardens and Six Flags, for instance, Hershey Park as well, if you're getting on the ride, you kind of walk through the ride to where you exit the ride and they have little cubbies and you put your items in the cubbies and they say too, like they don't monitor the cubbies. You get off the ride, you take your stuff. Universal is the one that's a lot different. Universal often doesn't let you take any bags on the rides. They do request that you put your bags in lockers and you do often have to pay for those lockers. Even if it's a small bag, Universal is very strict on certain rides that you cannot bring anything. And there are, again, Universal has some really big thrill coasters and that's partially wise for safety. So for instance, I know the Velocicoaster, I've not been on it yet, I'll be going on it soon. That ride is very strict that you can have nothing with you when you go on that ride. There's been injuries before where people try to keep something in their pocket and it's like, it's going to come out basically. Velocicoaster is one of the fastest roller coasters in the US. So I just like adhere to, if whichever park you're going to, just to think about that as well as like when you're going on the rides, is this a bag you want to bring with you on the rides? Right. Is this convenient for you to have on the rides? Because sometimes it's not. And then it's like, well, now I don't want to bring this bag. Or it's like you realize it and it's like you're suffering through the day going on every ride because you have this uncomfortable bag you have to bring with you everywhere. And that's good to note too, also for your mini ears. A lot of rides you can't have the mini ears on or they'll fly off your head. Even rides you don't think the mini ears will fly off your head.
Yeah, you think they're not. They're going to go.
On Minnie's and Mickey's Runaway Railway, I left my ears on and that ride spins around quite quickly. My ears flew off my head, but because you're sitting in like the second row, the ride has, you're like on a train, I say. The ride has like a little like thing in the back, that makes the train. My ears just flew onto that and I could just quickly grab them and brought them back in. But it's like they were seconds away from falling onto the floor and to never be seen again.
Right.
It's like,
they would have stopped the ride.
That's what I'm saying. I would have been the reason they had to pause the ride to go get my mini ears out of the track because it's just like, okay, I should have taken them off, but I didn't think about it.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind too. Anything with their cast members telling you to take something off, if they're doing it for your safety, but also for the safety of others. So that's kind of our park bag and our suitcase. What else? Do you have anything else that?
I think we probably should talk a little bit about security with the bags.
Oh yeah, true.
When you go through security, I have been stopped for a eyeglass case, a Ray-Ban eyeglass case, not the eyeglasses, the case. I have been stopped for my umbrella. I think it depends upon how it went through. Lately, I have not. The last trip we were on, it did not stop me at all because you walk through the sensors.
Security at Disney has changed, especially post-COVID. So now they have the Evolve technology. This is very I actually work at a security company. This is a very high-tech technology that when you walk through it, it can detect a lot of things. It's not just detecting metal. It can detect drugs as well. So keep that in mind if you're going through. If you have any teenagers with you, it can detect drugs as well because they use this in school sometimes. So they can detect a lot of things. They also, of course, have the dogs there as well. The canine dogs. So you walk through these. You walk through these special security items. There's a lot of security guards there as well. But if it detects anything of high metal or concentrated metal, it will flag it.
Right. They'll pull you
sometimes
over.
If you take it out of your pocket and you hold it and they see what you're holding, they'll still let you through because they realize like that's what's flagging.
Right.
But otherwise, though, they're going to want to check what's in your bag. Also, as well, sometimes they do like the random security. So sometimes
they just do random and pull you over. Yes. But I have been stopped once because of my eyeglass case, which I thought was funny. I said, not the eyeglasses. He said, no, the case itself has metal in it.
Yeah.
Ray-Ban. So I don't carry my Ray-Ban cases anymore because I just don't want to be bothered.
And I believe strollers usually get checked as well.
Yes, they have to go around
strollers
and
are
they
so
have to
large
check
and
what's in there.
have a lot of metal in them.
Right.
So strollers always get checked too.
Right, so you have to think about that too when
Wheelchairs,
you've got a
things like
bag.
that.
If you've got to go through the place and you've got this big heavy bag that's got a ton of stuff in it, it's going to slow you down. It's
all the
going to, they're
pockets,
going to go
yeah.
through everything and start poking around in everything. But you have to be careful what you bring.
Yeah, because it always depends. If your
Mm-hmm.
bag is being checked by a security officer, it always depends who you get, of how deep they're
Yes.
going to go in. Like, I've had it back in the day, especially when they used to open up the bags and check. I've had people just glance at my bag and wave me through. And I've
Right.
had people who had me open up my sunglass case, who made
Right.
me open up, like, my medicine case to see, like, what was inside.
What was in it, right?
So
Depends
it's
on who
like-
you get.
Yeah.
But you
it's
should be
very,
aware of
very
that when you're
dependent.
packing your bag because there's a chance you're going to set off those detectors.
Yeah,
Like I said,
no,
I
that's a
know
good
my
point.
umbrella may set it off once in a while, but I always carry it anyway because I'd rather spend the extra 5 minutes if I have to have them check my bag and
Yeah,
do
I
whatever
always think- yeah,
than
it's
it
always
is to be
fine,
without my
so.
umbrella. So.
No, we definitely agree. Yeah, but I feel like that's a good thing for lots of packing. The bigger the bag you bring to the park, the more people are going to ask you to put stuff in the bag. So
Oh, yeah.
I only know that
I try
'cause
not to do that. Daddy does that. Amanda,
Yeah.
can you hold this? Because he
Yeah,
can't
he
put it in
always
my
does
bag
that, yeah.
anymore.
The worst one is when he asked me to hold his little Listerine, his like mouthwash. Because we were going out to breakfast, but we were not going back to the room
to the
after
room.
breakfast. And so he asked me if I could hold his little mouthwash in my bag. I'm like, well, why can't you just put it in your pocket? And he's like, well, why can't you just put it in your bag? And
Why
I'm
can't
like,
you just not use it?
And I was like, because I don't want to carry your mouthwash in my bag. That's weird. So
She didn't carry it.
I did carry it. I put it in my
Oh, you
bag.
did?
Remember? Because then he went to the bathroom, and then I was in the bathroom, so he had to wait for me to come out to get the mouthwash to go back in the bathroom. I was like, God damn, this is like ridiculous. So, but yeah, but the bigger the bag you carry, the more someone's going to ask you to put something in your bag. So if you
See,
say
now
you
I
wanna
have a
carry
very, very
bag-
small bag, so he can't ask me to carry his hat, carry his keys, carry his glasses.
Yeah, it's usually the hat and glasses are the
Yeah.
big thing. Sometimes the sunglasses, and then yeah, it was just so funny though. So
The bad thing about fashion, just to put that in there, is that they went from him wearing cargo shorts to wearing plain shorts with side pockets. He used to have a lot of cargo pockets, so he used to be able to put all that stuff in his cargo pockets.
Styles go in and out all the time.
I know.
So
He
think
now
that's
decided he
fine.
wants to wear the plain shorts, and he doesn't have all those cargo pockets anymore.
Yeah, and then okay, well, we keep saying this is the last thing. The last thing is that if buying souvenirs in the parks, it's always good to leave room in the suitcase if you think you're going to be buying
yeah.
souvenirs. I only say that because we have flown before to and from Disney, and air flights can sometimes be very strict about how many bags you bring on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes it truly is just your one carry-on and your one personal item. But I've had it before where I have like a little souvenir bag with like souvenirs that don't fit in either of those bags, so I pack to the brim, and it's just like, all right, this is all that's fitting. And they will be, sometimes the airlines will say, it's like, no, you need to shove that into like one of your other
suitcase.
bags. So that is
And their
something
shipping
that,
costs for shipping stuff home from Disney has gone up.
Yes,
It used to
so-
be a flat rate. Now it's not.
for sure, yeah. So that's just always something that I now keep in mind all the time, especially since airlines have gotten very strict about like the one carry-on and the one personal item. And I've seen people who like bought something like a small bag like in the airport of like a bag of chips, and they were told like you need to put that in one of your other bags, and they had to shove it in one of the other bags, even though it's just like a bag of chips they probably eat as soon as they got on the plane.
2 bags.
So
That's it.
It depends on the airline as well, but yeah, that's just something that's like now I'm very cautious of. That it's like I try to leave extra space in case I think I'm buying another souvenir. Although at this point we don't buy that many.
We
big
don't buy that much
souvenirs
anymore.
Yeah, it's pretty rare for us to buy like lots of large souvenirs.
Well, this time we got
but-
stuck where I said, I'm not buying anything. We went to Lululemon and I bought something.
Yeah, we all bought a lot of stuff from the last trip, honestly, but it wasn't like large items. It was like we bought a lot of clothes.
Yeah,
I
I
bought
wore it
more
home.
makeup, so. But all right, I think that was the last thing that I had on my
Okay.
list here.
Well, like I said, packing is a personal thing, and there's just so many things to
it
think
depends
about.
on what you're bringing, who's in your family, if you have kids or not, what
It's a
age
fun
your
subject.
kids are. Yeah, because depending upon the age of your kids, it's going to depend too what they're packing as well. So I'm sure we'll do this in the future once I have kids, and we're saying like what I'm bringing with my little baby, and say what I
yeah,
have to
that'll
pack for the
start all
baby and
over
stuff.
again.
Yeah, because that's going to be a whole other suitcase, and then we
Right.
will be checking a bag, I'm sure. So, all right, this is normally when we do some Disney news, but this is a pre-recorded episode right now, so we have no Disney news for today, and there actually are no Disney birthdays or personal birthdays this
wow,
week.
quiet.
Yeah, I'm very quiet week
Okay.
this week. So, Ari, so do you have a Disney memory for this week's?
Disney memory.
Any packing memories?
Well, I think the Disney memory is, packing memories is like when I go to, I remember being there one Christmas and it hit really, really cold. I mean, it was cold. We were freezing. And that's like you said, I think you still have that scarf somewhere. We had to buy you a scarf. I had to buy an extra sweatshirt because there was, like you said, back then, there was no winter clothes. You couldn't
like
get
now
winter
they have
clothes.
like down jackets in the park, so you can buy like
Oh,
Disney
now you could buy
down
fleece
jackets.
and down
Yeah.
and long sleeve
And they
shirts
look really
and
cute. Like,
all
they're
those
nice
spirit
stuff.
jerseys.
Yeah.
We were there. All there was t-shirts and shorts. I got to tell you, we were freezing. And I got sick that week too, which didn't help. So I started to go downhill, and I was like, oh my God, maybe it's just because I'm cold. Maybe it's just because, but it wasn't. We were freezing. That's the memory I have, is that when I'm packing now, I don't ever want to get caught where I'm uncomfortable. So that's the memory that came to mind when you just said, what's your Disney memory? Oh my God, freezing my buns off while we were
I
trying
remember
to.
that too. The specific one I remember from that trip was, again, it was very cold. It was in like the 30s and 20s Fahrenheit. And I remember we were in the Grand Floridian like little shop in like the actual resort itself. And there was this scarf that I had seen previously on the trip that I really wanted. But my parents were like, no, we're not buying that scarf. I don't even know how much it was, but I know it was like kind of expensive, especially for the time when it's like we didn't have like, Disney was the money we were spending. So we weren't spending that much other money. But I remember because it was so cold, my parents said we could buy this like gray scarf that I really wanted. And I loved that gray. It was so soft. I had it for many years. It's funny because looking back now, that type of scarf I feel like wouldn't even be sold in the parks because it had no Disney branding on it. It was just a scarf. Like it was just a plain gray scarf. There wasn't even like a Disney tag on it. Like again, it was at the Grand Floridian, so it could have just been a different brand.
Right.
Whereas now I think a lot of things are all kind of branded for Disney, especially in the parks and in the resorts, which is kind of funny. But yeah, but at the time I remember it was so cold, and I remember too because we didn't have any coats, so we just were wearing. I think I was wearing like 2 sweatshirts and like
Two
a scarf.
sweatshirts. We
And
were all wearing 2 sweatshirts.
We have a photo of us in Animal Kingdom. I remember walking down towards the Tree of Life, and we want to take a photo, and it's like we were all bundled up. But that was like one of the coldest days as we were in Animal Kingdom. It was like it was so freezing. It was so cold.
And back then it was we had to see everything and do everything. Now if it's that cold, we say no, we're not doing that. Let's go back to the hotel.
After you got sick, we did go 2 days where we did nothing.
Yeah, we did nothing.
Because my dad took my mom to the ER. Me and my brother stayed.
God,
I think that was the first year we were staying in Bay Lake for the DVC.
Right.
So we were staying in Bay Lake. I remember that year too because I had gotten Kingdom Hearts for the Nintendo 3DS, and so I remember playing Kingdom Hearts sitting there like on my DS playing for hours because
I was stuck at the
clinic.
clinic.
we were just in the room for about 2 days when my mom was really sick and my dad was trying to figure out what to do. Like, should we leave? Should we stay? We were there for New Year's, I'm pretty sure, that year as well.
Yeah, it was the Christmas week.
Yes, we were debating, like, should we leave early? We ended up staying the whole trip.
We stayed, yeah.
Yeah,
we
so
stayed.
we did end up staying and everything, but I do remember that was a very cold trip though. But I did get that scarf, and I'm pretty sure I still have that scarf.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I ever got rid of it because I still really liked it. I think I eventually did get rid of the black and white scarf.
She had a black and white one with a little Mickey at the bottom because another year we were there, it was cold.
Yeah, but I think that one has faded away. But the
Well, I mean,
gray
talk
one I
about
kept.
packing. I mean, like I said, now also it's easy. What about the time that they lost the luggage? We did check a bag and they lost our luggage. We had nothing for Amanda to wear. We couldn't find anything for her to wear. It was summertime.
Yeah, I was a child. I was very
Yes.
young.
She
and
was
there
wearing
no,
Luke's boxer shorts. We had to buy
There was like
underwear.
no children's underwear and socks to be found. Now
Yes.
there's plenty of stuff.
Oh,
but
God,
back then
yes.
there was nothing.
No.
And it was rough. I
Yes.
remember those socks were expensive too. You guys
Expensive socks and a pair of expensive Mickey socks and underwear we bought her. And then there was no clothes. So she was wearing a pair of Luke's boxer shorts that had fish on them that looked like a pair of shorts. And we were putting them on her because she was so small. We just put his boxer shorts on her. It was hysterical. But like I said, now you don't have those problems. Now
now
they
there's a
have
lot more
everything you could
options, so-
possibly want.
Well, something my mom one time, and this is another memory actually, it was just that my mom, I forget what it was. It's like, was that when you hurt your foot? It was when you had plantar fasciitis or however you say it.
Plantar
Plantar
fasciitis.
fasciitis, however people say it. My mom had something wrong with her foot, but she didn't bring her brace because she was getting better. Is that the one?
Oh, what
And
happened is
so-
I didn't have it going down and I got it when I got
Oh,
down
you got
there.
it when we were down there. Yeah, because I remember my mom wanted to, because my mom says you're stuck in Disney jail sometimes. Because once you're on Disney property, you don't have a car. You can't. It's hard to get anywhere
No.
else. You have to Uber or Lyft out. And so I remember though that it's like my dad was trying to get my brother to ship my mom her brace from home.
Right.
But it was like a whole thing of shipping it to the hotel and like make sure we got it on time. And my dad saying like, this is a medical device. Like we have to know when this arrives because like,
It was impossible. And the joke is now I saw a report that they were thinking of putting a CVS in Disney Springs.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because I said 98% of the people are going to say, thank God.
Yeah.
Because I have to say, even now,
Well, because it'd be so convenient, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes, especially like if you forget something or if you need something, again, like some kind of medical device.
yeah, the hotels
device.
sell like little toiletries.
Yeah, they have some stuff. But
Yes.
it's like the options are limited, though.
Very
as you'd
limited.
imagine.
Very, very
The
limited.
stores are small; they can't have that much stuff. So,
Very limited. So if you need a drugstore, you have to get in a cab to
or
go
especially
to a
like
drugstore.
a pharmacy, like if you need medicine right away,
Yes.
it's like it's it's
not
It's
happening.
very tricky. So yes, that's why I had medicine on my list because I was
Well,
like,
the
yeah, if you
problem
need
is
medicine, you need to
because
bring it with
I
you.
should say that it doesn't go straight to the hotel. What they told us is it has to go to a major central shipping session. So if he shipped it to me at the hotel, it would not come straight to the hotel. It was going to have to go to a central location.
Yeah, it was going to take like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
for it to
3
get
days
here.
because they said it has to go to a central location, and that central location has to divvy it out to the different hotels. And by the time I got it, we were going to be planning to come home.
Yeah, so my dad was complaining to them. I think we did get it the next day or something like that, or like
it finally
within 2
did
days.
come.
But it was like a whole thing. It's like when you try to ship things, because now you can also do the Amazon.
I should say, just to add
groceries.
that now I have straps that go around your feet for when you get something like that.
Yeah.
I have those in my suitcase too.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you can do, like, if you're staying on Disney property, you can do the Amazon groceries.
Now
where
you
it's
can
like
get
order
delivery.
ahead.
Years ago, you couldn't
do
get that
with
either.
Yeah, you can do that with the strollers too. Like you can order the stroller ahead and it'll be delivered to your room. You can even do those Disney boxes. I know some people have that where you have like a storage box in Disney World.
Oh yeah, now you can just leave
And so
stuff
some
there.
people leave like their Disney shirts, their mini ears, like things
all
that they
that stuff
always
there.
use just down there. So that when they go down, then they only use
If we
in
went down a
Disney.
couple of times a year, I think I would look into that and just leave half that stuff down
Yeah,
there.
I've heard it's not that expensive. I heard it's not that it's expensive, but it's also like what you're paying for is worth it, is what I've heard from people. And also I've heard it's very convenient. So it's just like it's super convenient because like again you just book it with your room basically for it to be
they'll have
delivered.
it waiting for you.
Yeah, so when you get to your room, the box is already there. So you have all your stuff, you can repack it, and then you just leave it in the room when you check out, and they'll put it away for you. It's stored in like a room temperature facility, so like it's it's just
And if you
like
go
in
a couple of
closet,
times a year,
basically.
sometimes that's just worth it. You just get on the plane with just your little bag.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. That's why people do it, because they say it's so convenient and so easy, especially for like if you have the Disney t-shirts and sweatshirts, you really
Plus,
only
if
want
you
Disney.
have babies, if you have young kids, because a lot of the stuff you don't want to use the hotels, sheets and blankets and pillows sometimes for babies and their playpens and different things. So you could just store that in that box, and then when that playpen comes, you could just use your own sheets and pillows
sure.
and things
Makes
like
it
that.
easier.
So I think in certain conditions, that is definitely something worth looking at.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, do you have anything else for our packing bags?
No, I think we kind of covered a lot of crazy things.
I know, because I'm surprised it took us this long to do what we pack in our Disney bags. Because we do have a whole episode, it's one of our most popular episodes on driving down from the East Coast to Disney. So that one, my mom really dives deep into like what it's like to drive down from the East Coast. My mom lives in New Jersey, down to Florida. The stops that she's made, like tips on that as well. So I will link that podcast also in the description of this podcast, just because I feel like it's similar to this one, is like packing and traveling and everything.
Right.
And I think it's a really useful podcast and everything, and that still stands.
Yeah, because there's a lot of questions that, like, you say to yourself, okay, what am I going to run into, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, or like places to stop or something. So, but all right, thanks everyone for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. Make sure you give us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or if you're listening on YouTube, to leave a comment down below. And make sure you follow us on social media, Almost Amanda X, and let us know, what do you normally pack in your Disney bags? What is your go-tos? What are things that like we didn't mention that we either forgot about, or just like something it's like we packed but we don't even think about it, so it didn't make the list, you know? So it's like that's why I want to do this one soon, because we're going to Disney just in a couple weeks at this point. So it's like we'll be in Disney soon, and we were just in Disney also a couple weeks ago as well. So we're kind of in between trips right now. So yeah, so we'd love to know what you're packing in your bag. Definitely let us know. And what do you, and we'd love to know. So let us know. Until then,